Before I start this video, I'd like you to know that it contains discussion on depression and suicide. If you're not comfortable with that, perhaps you'd like to leave this for a while and come back another time when you're more comfortable watching it. Today I'm going to talk about one of the darkest periods of my life, where I struggled with depression and had suicidal thoughts. If you're going through something similar, I hope that this gives you hope. I lived with depression most of my adult life. It started in my early 20s, and as you know, I'm 72 now. And in those days, it was not talked about like it is today. One morning, I woke up early to get ready for work, and I just knew that I couldn't face the day. It had been one day too many for me. Another day of darkness, another day of trying to get through the day. Anyway, I eventually did manage to get showered and dressed and into my car. And I started my journey to work. But on my way, I took a different route. And I drove towards the coast. And I decided that it was time to end my life. The trip there was much of a blur. I can't remember much about it at all. But on that day, I didn't follow through. I ended up at my place of work, went into my office, closed the door, just put my head down and cried, knowing what I'd nearly done. I knew that I was in a very bad place, probably the worst place I'd ever been in my years of depression. I immediately phoned my doctor, went to see him. He referred me to a psychiatrist and a psychologist. That's where my journey of recovery began. I have written a book about my years of depression and how I coped with it, and the little tools I got in my tool belt that I used on a daily basis. And it's available on Amazon, but I have put it into an Audible video, which is right here on YouTube for you to tune into and listen to. And if you do, I hope that you get some comfort from listening to what I went through and the fact that I'm still here today. Now, talking about suicide and knowing people who have taken their lives, I've heard people say, how selfish. Did they not think about the people they were leaving behind? Did they not think of anyone but themselves? Well, no, they didn't. When you're in that situation, you are so self-consumed. You actually think of nobody else, except that this world is spinning too fast and you need to get off. Now, I would never do anything to cause sadness and grief to my children and my family. And on that day, when I came so close to taking my own life, I didn't even think of them. I'm ashamed to say I didn't think of them. From my own experience, I can tell you that there's no selfishness in suicide. There's just an absolute exhaustion an exhaustion that doesn't allow you to go into the next day, into the next minute, perhaps. I was brought back from the brink, and for that I'm so grateful. If you are listening to this and feeling hopeless and exhausted and thinking of ending your life, I'm talking directly to you now. Please listen to me. There is help, but do something immediately. Don't wait. If you're feeling this way right now, go to your doctor's office. You don't need an appointment. Go there, walk in, tell the receptionist you need to see your doctor urgently, and sit and wait. If you have a friend that you trust or a family member, call them and say, I need you urgently, I need you now. Don't wait. Don't let that feeling get any bigger than it is. And don't downplay how you're feeling. Make sure whoever you're talking to completely understands the urgency of the situation and the thoughts that you've been having. There is light at the end of the tunnel, even though it doesn't feel like it right now. I'm living proof of that. But, as I said, I sought help immediately, and it has been hard work. But once I'd got the help I needed, and once I was in therapy, I knew that I wanted to continue my life. Something else I'd like to mention about medication. If you're put on medication, which you probably will be, and you feel no difference in the beginning, don't stop. Your doctor or your psychiatrist will have to try perhaps a few medications until they find the right one. So, as I said, it's hard work in the beginning, but stick with it. You may have to change medications a few times until you find the one, or your doctor finds the one that suits your condition perfectly. And then another thing, when that medication is found that is perfect for you and starts to make the world feel worth living in again, take it religiously at the same time every day, either in the morning or at night. If you start to feel better, that doesn't mean that you're cured. It means that your depression is being controlled. If you had diabetes and you were diagnosed and told that you'd have to inject yourself every day to keep your blood sugar levels where they are, you'd immediately start to feel better, but you wouldn't stop taking your insulin because you know that it's a condition that you've got that needs to be controlled on a daily basis, and the same applies to your mental health. Never, ever stop taking your medication if it's been prescribed for you, not even for one day. Another thing, there is now online therapy available, which is marvelous. I'm going to put a link in the description, and perhaps you'd like to look into that. So, this is not a video about ways to control or handle your depression. Your therapist will advise you on that. This is me sharing my story of how I came to the brink and I came back from it. It's a raw, personal story for me to share. Not easy. Some people would see it as a weakness. Maybe it was, but a weakness that I had no control over at the time. And please, I implore you, if you're listening to this and you're feeling in any way the same as I did that day, get help right now. If this video has helped you, or even just one person out of the people that are going to watch it, it's been so worth sharing my story and making this video today. I hope it's brought you some comfort. As always, I send you warm hugs, and until our next video, bye for now.